Hey y'all, welcome back to Money Madness with Lucas. So this week, yeah, it's pretty hot in here. Uh, so this week we're talking about trans role models or role models that we see in the trans community. I know everybody has a different way of saying, oh, what is a role model and what they believe belongs as a role model, someone they look up to, and so on and so on. For me, it's always been that one person that goes above and beyond in the community, whereas they're not like more like they've gone through struggles and they fought a big fight. For me, it's always been like that. It's been like someone I look up to, and for that reason, I've always been a big admirer of Bamby Salcedo. I don't know if you guys know her or heard of her. She is really big in the trans Latina community. She's a big advocate for uh, trans Latina. You know, she has her own trans Latina coalition. She has her own. Basically, she's the president of that organization, which promotes access to healthcare and all that for immigrants that are trans, especially trans Latina or women of color in general. That's why I look up to her in general. She's a big role model in the community for myself and for others. Um, I've been knowing her for a couple of years now. I met her back in 2013, 2014. She has been a big inspiration for me. She's the reason I started advocating for the trans community. When all the murders started happening here in LA, especially for the trans women of color, she was there, fighting, protesting, when all the deportations started for the trans people, trans Latina, she was there. And, she comes herself from, a background where she was one of the first, trans women, to start advocating for us in general. So I've always seen her as a big inspiration. Not to say that anybody else isn't, fit to be an advocate or like an inspiration. That's not true in general. Anybody could be a trans role model. I mean, anybody could be a role model in general. Someone you look up to. This was a person that was big on my life, that impacted my life in a good way, in a positive way, that wanted me to become a better person than I was. That's why I consider her my role model. It's not, I'm not saying, I don't think any less of any person, but that's who impacted my life, so much. She's like, I'm gonna say a mother, like an aunt or something like that. Someone that could take care of me in general. Sorry, I'm like outside the public place and there's a lot of people, but yeah, I think that looking up to someone in general, it's interesting to see, for myself to see, what, sorry, let me do this, what someone could do in general. But she has been a big inspiration for me, and she's helped me out so much. She used to work for Children's Hospital, and I met her through Angels program, Angels of Change program, and she's been ever since then. We've always kept in contact. She's done so many studies for the trans community. The trans men, she just did a study for trans men, for healthcare and all that, just to see what the access to healthcare was with us. And in LA, she's a really big inspiration, and she's gone to Washington D.C. She's protested for the LGBT community. So for me to pick a role model, yeah, it's hard to pick a role model, but for me, her was the easiest choice to come up with, because she's done so much for us. And I know you probably some of you guys are like, who the hell is Bamby Salcedo? Look it up. She's led paveway for us, for trans guys, for trans women, especially trans men of color, trans women of color. She's been a huge impact in the community in general. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week.